Legionnaires of the Lariat, welcome back. With me is the ferocious yet loving Hound, and we have the cantankerous Steven Zaft, and I am your host, the Ignatius Michael Wright. Boys, how are we doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you much for having me again. Gentlemen, it's always a pleasure to see you, and I can't wait until Steve is wrong again with the PLE.
I don't know what you just said about me. I'm going to get a dictionary later, but I'm going to assume that since I can't understand the words, that it was threatening, and that's how I'm going to take it.
See, you're just defining the word right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good.
That word had too many syllables. Apologize.
I won't do it. Don't hate me. Hate me from my brain. Folks, I'm your host tonight, so that means that we're doing one of two things, either predicting or reviewing, and we're going to be predicting Bad Blood 2024, one of your favorite B5 match shows. Steven, what are you most looking forward to for this match, this card?
I think Liv versus Rhea with Dom suspended in a shark cage. I really think that's going to be my fun match. I mean, don't get me wrong, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre is going to be a fight, but Liv versus Rhea, that's just going to be I think that's just going to be a fun match to watch.
If there's a shark cage, does that mean that there must be a shark?
Yes.
I would think so. Hound, what are you most excited for?
Hound, no shark jokes.
There will be no shark jokes, don't you worry. But I am most excited for CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. I'm most excited for it because I believe this will be the blow-off to their feud, if you will, for at least a little while. But if it's not, I'm looking forward to potentially being very wrong with my prediction and being very happy with how they do it.
I have thoughts on this match, and obviously I'll save it for when we're doing the picks, but I'm with you. I think that one is probably the one I'm most excited for. I will say Priest versus Finn has the potential to be really, really good if they don't mess it up by having Priest just kind of overpower Finn. I would like to see the old Finn Balor in this match, one that could be taken serious as a competitor. And so if they do this right, this could steal the show.
Yeah, if they channel the old Finn Balor, I mean, obviously can't channel the old character of the ordinary man who does extraordinary things, but you can put in the work of that old character while being the faux Prince Devitt, if you will, here. I think, and I think Priest has been so underrated for so long, and anybody who's watching wrestling knows Finn Balor is top of the mountain when it comes to between the ropes skill. So I think we're in for something special there. I just hope it's not like, hey, you guys have 7 minutes because Roman has a 92-minute entrance.
That there's definitely got to be one of those matches to make room.
Of that. Finn and Priest had a match in NXT when they were both down there when Finn was doing the Prince gimmick. Not he was just the dude who stood alone. And if that version of Finn shows up and that version of Priest shows up, we could be in for an awesome match.
This could be a really good opportunity for the Demon to come back. Is that something you guys want to say, or is that done?
I don't think you can bring Demon Finn back while Finn is in a heel persona. The Demon, I believe, was so effective because Finn was such a smiley baby face that he got pushed to the point that he had to let that go and embrace that side of himself. I just don't. I liked it because it was the other side of a coin kind of thing. I don't think it would work well here.
I will say this on the kind of the business side of it, I guess. They're not going to do it because they won't bring the Demon back for something that's not one of the big four. Like, if they can't have a major runway and they can't have the long entrance and stuff like that, I don't think they would do it. That's why the last time we saw him was the Hell in Cell WrestleMania match with Edge. Yeah. Because it was the only... it's one of two times that the Demon's been at WrestleMania.
Well, I bring it up because I think there's parody in that. Because the last time he did it was kind of removing somebody from the Judgment Day. And this match is kind of the culmination of being removed from the Judgment Day. So there's parity there. It's definitely not WrestleMania. I get what you mean. Would be interested. I always like that character. I think that it has a lot of legs for it to come out of nowhere and just show the more vicious side of him. Even if he is a heel, it kind of, even as a heel, he's a person and he has some restraints with the paint and everything like that. He's apt to do pretty much anything. So let's jump into it. We have on our card, obviously this is not in order, just kind of not even a prediction on how we have it, but the first match we have for the women's championship, we have Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley with Dom suspended. How high do you think he's going to be? Going to be somewhere around here?
I mean, they have to be careful with how high they suspend them, but awesome.
This always, I know other people have done this, but this always reminds me of J.J. Dillon in the Shark Tank, in the Shark Cage. That's always the first thought of it when it comes to suspending somebody like this, because it's just so ridiculous. Hound, I'm gonna let you go first here. What are you thinking on this match?
I have Liv keeping the belt. It's not that I wouldn't want to see Rhea as champion. I think she is always perpetually a threat for the champion. To have the championship, pardon the way I worded that. Rhea is probably the hottest thing in WWE right now, both just as a character and she's quite attractive. But
I'm telling
the fact that Dom, the fact that Dom is in the shark cage and that's kind of what is making me have this feeling. Plus, I don't think Rhea needs the title right now. I think Liv having it does a lot for Liv, and it allows you to kind of push the women's division forward to circle back to Rhea potentially being, what would she, if she won the Royal Rumble again, would she be a 2-time or a 3-time winner? But she would be a multi-time winner, and having Rhea as one of the main attractions in WrestleMania again is, to me, is a can't miss.
So I'm gonna go on the other side of you here, Hound. I'm gonna go with Rhea in this match. The reason being is that Liv has already won, and without Dom getting in the way, I see it. You have the opportunity for Rhea to kind of have that revenge in her own right, but it also leaves it open for a rubber match where it could go back to what you're kind of saying, to let Liv win it back and then let Rhea do other things that she needs to. I just don't know what happens next with this, because I feel like the Raw women's division is so shallow right now that without a big reveal of a comeback, like is Charlotte Flair going to show up? There's just no one that really competes with these two people, because everyone else is in this abyss of women's tag team right now.
Well, I have a theory. I do have a theory, and it's involving Roxanne Perez. I believe she's going to be on the main roster in very short order, and I could see her immediately in a program with Liv.
That is something, and like someone that can actually compete with her. What do you got, Steven?
So, I think Liv is keeping the belt. I don't know if that necessarily means that Liv wins the match, but again, I'm going with that Liv's keeping the belt here. I think this whole thing is still kind of just leading towards us getting Rhea versus Dom.
I agree.
You don't need and you don't need the women's title on Rhea for that. And in fact, I think her having the women's title and her facing Dom almost pulls away from it a little bit. So I could see this. That's where my reasoning is for not having Rhea win the title here.
You hear that, Hound? It's a kiss of death. He's bringing you down with him.
There is a good chance.
You're right there, Steven. It does make me question my thing here, because I do believe that we're leading to a Rhea versus Dom match, and it doesn't make sense if she's champion. But then I just go back to my rationale a second ago, because I think they need the kind of a rubber match for these two. If Rhea wins this one here, and within that third match, he comes in, messes everything up again for her. And that's what is the final nail in the coffin for maybe a casket match. Hey, I think that'd be kind of cool.
So this is where I'm gonna agree and disagree with you at the same time. The fact is, I think Liv is walking out with the belt no matter what. That doesn't mean Rhea doesn't win, because this isn't a no disqualification match or anything like this.
No.
I could see Liv getting disqualified in this match and Rhea getting the win, but Liv keeping the belt.
But that would be me winning.
I mean, technically, yes. That's why I'm saying I agree and disagree with you at this. I agree that Rhea could win this match, but I don't think that Liv is not leaving with the title.
That would lead to
a rubber match.
Not even a rubber match, the Dom match.
The Dom match, yeah.
If he picks the lock because he learned that in prison.
He's getting out of that thing. We all know he's getting out of that thing. He paid the guards. Paid the screws with some smokes.
The only thing I want to have happen now that we're saying it, I want Rhea to win the belt and then Dom to win the women's world title from Rhea.
We've been saying it for months. I want this. We all want this. The fact that they won't do it is the only reason why I'm leaning the way I am. But yes,
it's 2024. Open your mind, writers.
Exactly.
It's what he identifies as.
He we haven't seen
Mysterio.
What's called? We haven't seen a good intergender champion since Andy Kaufman. Man, if anyone fits that persona better than Dom, I have no idea who it is.
If they did that, you will be talking in a couple years about Dominic Mysterio as the greatest heel of all time.
I think you could almost even talk about it now. He can't even say a word. Like, no one boos anyone like they boo Dominic right now. Like, no one has more nuclear heat than he does.
Like there's literally a meme out of when Dom was doing the stuff with Ray and Eddie when he was 10 years old or whatever, and it's him with Vince McMahon kneeling next to him, and it's like, here we have the most hated man in the WWE and Vince McMahon.
Yeah. That's why I've been begging on this show for Dominic to get a push, because I get what they're doing right now, like make him seem like the swarmy heel, can't do anything, but then let's give him an Eddie push where he finds ways to win in the right way, actually wins a couple good matches here and there. He lies and cheats and steals the whole way through. That all works. But have like a really good Dominic push, man. Would that nuclear heat go even? I don't know what's past nuclear heat, but we'll find out. It's Dominic heat.
What if he even changes his name? He's no longer Dominic Mysterio. He's Dominic Guerrero.
So I think the perfect time to do it, and I love that idea, is at WrestleMania when he obviously is going to wrestle Ray, because who else could he possibly wrestle?
That's the only person he wrestles at WrestleMania.
And I'm convinced that at WrestleMania there will be a mask versus hair match, because that beautiful mullet versus the mask, and Dominic will win that match, and that could be the beginning of a winning streak.
All right, I'm in.
I'm almost I'm not regretting my pick, and I'm going to stay with it. But I think ultimately what's going to happen is Rhea wins and Liv keeps the belt. But I did say Liv to start, so I'm going to keep my pick there.
Rhea gets the win. Okay, next, let's keep it in the Judgment Day. Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. I've been thinking about this one an awful lot, and I'm really on the fence. I know who I want to win this match, and it might be a little surprising because I really want to see Finn Balor win this match. Steven, where are you sitting in this one?
So here's the thing. I want to go with Priest as the winner of this one because I said that Liv is going to win. I don't think that both members of the Judgment Day lose, and I don't think that both members of the Judgment Day win. So I am going to go with Priest as a winner on this one. And that's only if this is kind of if this is their actual blow off, because I don't think that they really don't need to do much more with this. Realistically,
I'm with you.
They can have Priest and Balor go off and do their own thing. They can finally have Balor start defending those tag team titles, and they can start doing that stuff. I would have Priest win this, and just because of the side factors, and that's always kind of how I look at it. Is those side factors are what should influence this, but I'm with you. I actually do kind of wish that Finn would win this match.
I think he should. It gives him the legitimacy that he needs here, because I feel like they've broken him down to like a second tier guy. He's a former champion. Like he's a serious worker. He's got a lot of skill. Him and Damian together in the tag division felt unstoppable. And then the minute Priest became world champion, Balor overnight became a sidekick. And at this point in time, I think he gains more from winning this match than Damian does. Because Damian can easily go back and challenge Gunther, and no one bats an eye that he can't go there and say toe to toe. I think Balor, on the other hand, could really use this win to then legitimize the tag team titles, because we all know JD McDonough's not going to do that. So
He's got the biggest head.
But I'm with you, Steve. I gotta ride the curve. I think that if Rhea wins like I picked, it's got to be Finn, right? So I'm gonna go Finn here.
We're all flip floppy on this one.
Hound.
I'm not as flip floppy as you guys with this. I think this is the crowd service win for the night, and this is, to me, the clearest. The face is winning, and Damian Priest is winning this. See, if Damian Priest loses to Finn Balor here, I think you do kind of cut his legs out from under him in the world title picture.
You think so?
I do. I really do. And I do think this is the most obvious to me of what's going to happen on the night. And I think it's going to be great. I think Finn is going to look fantastic in it. But ultimately, I think we're going to have the whole Priest doing the crazy eyes before the South of Heaven chokeslam. And it'll be one where he battled through a whole bunch of adversity and, almost hulked up into it. And I think that's going to be the finish.
I think him winning this the way he has to win it, by going through McDonough, going through going through McDonough, going through Carlito, going through Dom, it's just gonna be one of those things where he's gonna be so overpowered on Finn that you might as well just let the Judgment Day go down to NXT, because they're not a threat anymore. Though the one thing I would like to see is a former Judgment Day member come back and help Priest. R-Truth.
I was gonna say Edge is dead, man. We already talked about the specter of Edge.
I love that.
It makes perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense. Jesus.
R-Truth can be inserted anywhere. He's a national treasure.
He's an international treasure at this point. He's a worldwide treasure.
Oh, remember our friend from across the pond chose him in her top 5.
That's true. Lindsay did choose him in her top 5 favorite wrestlers, ever.
Yeah, that was a bold move.
He's the most committed. He's so committed. When they did the PLE in Australia, he went to Austria just to take a picture in Austria to be like, I'm here.
Where is everybody?
Oh.
This is the first where I'm the minority in both these picks, and I picked both of them different. I wonder if this will continue on, because I actually, for this next match, I still don't even know what I'm going to pick right now. I should go first, but I don't think I can. It's CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in the Hell in the Cell. I know who I want to win. The
Please
good
let
guy.
him go first on this one.
Sure. Go ahead, Hound. You get to go first.
Okay. So
let's go, new
I'm
guy.
with you. I want Drew McIntyre to win. I don't think he will, and it's simply because he has more road left on his career than CM Punk in ring. I think they are ultimately pushing towards CM Punk main eventing one of the 2 nights in WrestleMania coming up and having his title win at WrestleMania. And I think he needs to come out the other side 2 out of 3 in this thing to continue that forward, provided he doesn't, get hurt again, which I don't want any of them to get hurt ever. I would love for Drew to win. Drew is incredible. He's incredible on the mic. He's hilarious off the mic. Like if you see him in candid interviews, he's a physical specimen. He's an incredible worker in the ring, and he's the only person who I think hits harder than Gunther. So it's everything about Drew I love when it comes to in-ring stuff and his character. But I do think this is the start of pushing Punk towards main eventing one of the 2 nights in WrestleMania.
So you have him beating Gunther in your mind?
Kinda. I kinda do.
Interesting.
I don't know if he will, but it's at least the start of pushing him towards it. And
because I definitely agree that he's have a big match at WrestleMania. No shit. And I think it's against Rollins. Like that's where they do the big blow off with Rollins. And I think in that match, you don't need a title. Like that match has been hyped up enough that it's already set for prime time. You don't need any gold to go along with it. Where right now, I think Gunther needs a kind of a title run. Because not that he has anything to prove, but at the same time, Gunther losing the title in less than a year seems real out of character for him.
It does, but let's look at Braun Breaker losing that title. Nobody expected that. I don't think Gunther drops it before WrestleMania. And again, this might lead to Punk losing in that main event spot. But I think this is the start of that towards it. And yeah, 100% the Rollins idea makes all the sense in the world. But how do you get back to that at this point? Because you've kept them separated now. Rollins went off after being hurt by being splashed through the middle of the damn earth by what's his face? By Bronson Reed. And I mean, you can get back to it by simply just having one interrupt the other. You can do that, but I don't think that'll happen. If they're going to get back to that, it'll be something where in the Royal Rumble, Rollins and Punk eliminate each other, kind of thing.
I can definitely see that.
Before Joe Hendry gets eliminated by The Rock.
I love how it's taking off.
I believe
that The Rock eliminates Joe Hendry. Steven, where are you at? I'm not convinced yet.
I'm not convinced either way.
The DQ in Hell in the Cell?
No, but you can have a double knockout. And, like, I'm not opposed to that finish for this. Like, you don't have a winner. And I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm just saying I'm not mad about that ending if it happens. I think that kind of lets them both go off and, deal with their concussion protocols afterwards, and they don't have to come back together right away because they can be off for like 2 weeks and be like, oh, yeah, now we're a little different. But
these two definitely have,
and I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think we get a clear-cut winner. I think this is the blow-off. I think we're officially going to finish this. The problem is I don't know who it's going to. So I'm yeah, that's right. That's how much I don't know. I'm flipping.
For those listening, he's showing a coin.
All right, so we're going Punk on this one.
Going Punk. So I could definitely see these two having what they like to call a forever feud, where this might end up being, before Punk's career, they have about 14 pay-per-view level matches throughout the remainder of his career, I could really see something ridiculous like that. No. And then, so here's my tricky spot. I want McIntyre to win. I think Punk probably does. My problem with it is McIntyre didn't win all that definitively in that first match. Punk absolutely chomped McIntyre in the lumberjack in the strap match. The way he hit him with 15 go to sleeps, like he just manhandled him at the end of that match. And now it wasn't the whole time. It was just the finish that I kind of had a problem with in that front. So like in my mind, having that definitive of a finish after a not so definitive finish, you should give it to McIntyre. I actually think you should give it to McIntyre anyway, because he's the one that should be going to WrestleMania or something else against Gunther. Like, I want to see that match for the world title, because he's the one that was always circling around it, and now Punk's out of the way, and maybe he won't screw him this time. And so that's what I think. But I do think
I'm going to throw this theory out real quick before you get your pick out there. What if after all of this, somehow, I know what you said about not taking the title off Gunther before Mania, but if someone were to take the title off Gunther, McIntyre is a believable guy.
I agree.
And then you get, like you said, that forever feud between, you could get Punk versus McIntyre at Mania, which I think even, what is that, 8 months from now, it'll draw huge.
Yeah, I love all that.
Oh no, we're in October, so 6 months from now. I'm sorry, I'm bad at math today.
But I'm gonna have to go with Punk as well. I hate this. I actually was hoping I can keep going against you guys. I just think that's what they're gonna do. I think that because the career is towards the end. Punk is back. I think they're trying to give him one really nice big push. I don't know if it deals with any titles whatsoever, but I'm gonna go with Punk, and I don't like myself about it because I hate picking the heel in this situation.
You are a heel.
No, I'm not. Everyone loves me.
Steve, your idea just sparked something for me. The WrestleMania that just passed involved McIntyre, Punk, and Rollins. What if we're getting back to those three again? It's a three-way, and McIntyre did take the title off Gunther. We could very well get there, because you then get Punk and Rollins going at it. You get Rollins continuing on with McIntyre, which was incredible, and then you get Punk and McIntyre. I know Nara's the biggest fan of three-ways, but but
in this case, a three-way with those three at Mania is kind of the blow-off for all three of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see Rollins versus Punk before that then.
I absolutely do. But I could see them starting to do Rollins and Punk before that, and they kind of settle their differences to a point before we get to this point. Or before we get to this match.
Yeah. And because, like I said, it could be a forever feud. It's not like McIntyre or Rollins are buddies. So it could definitely friends. It could definitely be something like that. Okay, gross that I chose the same as you guys. But next is Nia Jax versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Title. I have kind of a 1A, 1B answer to this. So this is honestly probably the match I'm looking least forward to, just because they haven't been putting on the matches that I really, really enjoyed. Nia has some moments. I feel like Bayley is just kind of there these days. Like nothing gets me all that excited for her right now.
How dare you?
Sorry, bud. I don't.
Well, again, I'm telling Willow.
I comment solely on wrestling on this show. I'm going to go with this one as I think Nia retains. I think this is a really good way to kind of push her to really solidify her as champion. Though my 1B is I could see, and I think we talked about this last show, Steve, I could see a moment where Bayley's about to win. and Tiffany cashes in.
It's like, well, you were going to lose, so
you were going to lose. So I saved.
I saved
Look,
the
we still
title
got
for
the belt.
us. We still have the belt.
Yeah. So that's the way I say it. So I could see that one, but with these two competitors, I think this like Nia is ready for a nice long run, and her cousin owns the company at this point in time. Just another one of the family in this, even though she's never been in the bloodline, it still counts. So I'll go with Nia on this front.
NEPOTISM, nepotism.
Steven, what are you thinking for this match?
I'm glad that didn't go past that. Go on deaf ears.
I got it.
I am also sticking with Nia on this one. I think the only way Nia doesn't walk out with this title is if Tiffany cashes in. And I mean, there was a little bit of that playing off during SmackDown this past week, but I don't know. I feel like the cash-in's gonna probably come in at a bigger event. But again, I could see it being what you said, like, oh, she's about to lose, and they cash in.
And I will say that for every event until she cashes in on Nia.
Until all of a sudden she cashes in on Liv, really shocks everybody. What the hell?
Oh, that would be dope. I would pop for that.
Like, if at the end of this, if during the Shark Cage match, she cashes in on Liv, I'm in. I'm all in.
Because that's what the women's singles division is so shallow right now because they don't know what to do with Bianca and Sky. They let's keep them and make them the strongest part of a tag team division that has women in it, I guess. Like there's none of them do it.
There are people involved.
Hound, where are you circling on this one?
So if a title is going to change hands tonight, or at the PLE rather, it will be Nia losing, but it won't be Bayley taking it from her if that happens. If you're not going to have the finish be involved with if the finish is involved with just the two of them, it's Nia winning. If there is some kind of a cash in, I think it's still a little bit early. I agree with Steve. If you're going to do this, I think this is a big four type cash in because you're kind of coronating Tiffany Stratton at that point. And I feel it would almost not have the impact needed if it wasn't at one of the big four. So I do believe Nia will retain. But if a title is going to change hands, it will be a cash in there. Although I do love the idea of Tiffany cashing in on Liv after Liv beats Rhea.
That'd be great.
It would be phenomenal.
And just no one would see it coming. And then you can have Charlotte come back and go after Tiffany.
You have Dom screw Rhea, and just when Liv is about to take advantage of it, Tiffany cashes in. Freaking love it. The whole place would go nuts.
It would be super Tiffy time.
It would be super. It's Tiffy time. All right, so we got the main. What we are all assuming the main event, right? We have Cody Rhodes.
Well, you need time for all those entrances.
And the 40-minute entrance known as Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Steven, I think you're up. What are you thinking, bud?
I'm actually a little torn on this one. I believe Roman I keep leaning into something else, and I don't want to let that sway my decision as much as I want something to happen. You know what? I'm going Solo and Jacob. I think Solo and Jacob win this. And I think it's... I think at the end of the day, I think it's Cody's fault.
You think Cody gets pinned?
I don't know if Cody gets pinned. I have been peddling the idea that a Cody heel turn would be awesome.
Not in this capacity.
It's not going to happen here, but truthfully, kind of how you said it, Showtime, let's face it, Roman Reigns was a real bad man for a real long time and screwed over a lot of people. It's going it's going to take a lot for us to really, really love him and trust him again. You know what would make us love him and trust him again? The American Nightmare waffling him with a baseball bat or something. If he's the guy that doesn't stick to his word.
I don't know if I can stand here for this nonsense.
It's not going to be what happens. But I do think that Solo and Jacob take this. I think they need to.
The only way Cody walks away and doesn't help Reigns is if Reigns does something to deserve it in this match. He is so white bread that he's going to do the good thing. Like Captain America over here. Is he? I don't know where you are on my screen.
He's on. Yeah.
Is he up in this corner?
No, the other. Yeah, that one. For you. For the way I see it.
I got mirror version, so I'm not quite sure where I am. Hound. What? You've been quiet, and I can't listen to Steven's nonsense anymore. What are you thinking?
I see why he loses all the time. Lord, I'm never going to Vegas with you. Good God Almighty!
He doesn't do half bad in Vegas.
No, I do well in Vegas. I do terrible at these picks.
Those are games of chance, though.
So, if someone turns on someone, it's Jacob turning on Solo.
Oh.
Ooh, see,
like that.
Now that's good.
I do like that.
Are you taking notes, Steven?
They've been kind of half teasing that in the background the whole time. And it's been very subtle, but it's been there. The way I see this playing out, if Jacob is going to turn on Solo, it happens, and Roman's pinning Solo. I think regardless, Roman's pinning Solo. Because if you're not going to do that, the only thing I don't like is you're going to have Roman and Jacob touch in a match right now, and I think we should have kept that away from that for a little while longer.
Excuse me.
So I 100% don't see a universe where it's not Cody and Roman.
I have an interesting idea, and I'm not sure if I'm going to go here yet. But is the next PLE Survivor Series?
I'm not sure. I
believe so.
Unless there's another Saudi pay-per-view.
So while you look that up, I think that we see the return of Jimmy Uso in this match. Because there will be a time where Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa make their presence known. I think you probably see a bunch of run-ins here. I can see Randy and Kevin Owens showing up. Jimmy coming in. I think this is the perfect time to reintroduce him, particularly if Survivor Series is next.
So we have Crown Jewel almost exactly a month away on November 2nd. And then we have Survivor Series in Vancouver, British Columbia.
I wish it was next because that makes my initial thought better. Is there stipulation? I don't know if I noticed. Is there stipulation in this match? Is it bloodline rules? Is it?
No, I don't think there's anything. I think this is just a tag match.
I don't see how there's an end to this match.
You think there's no end? You think there's no winner?
I think this is a no contest. And I might. I don't know. There's just too much riding right now.
I'm gonna
for it to say that it's not.
I'm gonna
no
side
contest.
with you on that one. Actually, I'm gonna side that we don't see an end to this.
Okay, I see where you're going with that. Does anybody else hear that? Good Lord. I don't know. I was looking to see if my cat was attacking something next to me because I'm just hearing something get batted.
It's just my velvety voice.
I love it. You have to get Cody away from the bloodline at this point. And you need to start pushing towards bloodline v bloodline for the Survivor Series. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm saying you have Roman pinning Solo because you're now keeping the focus on bloodline pinning bloodline. You can have Roman and whoever it is going to be the rest of his half of the bloodline for this. You can have them get stomped the whole way to that pay-per-view. or PLE rather. You can have them virtually every SmackDown, it going off air with them being on the receiving end of a beatdown leading into that. But it's time for, especially with it being in Vancouver, it's going to be heading towards something where we're going to have the next big heel turn is Owens, and he's going to do it in Canada. So I think you have to get Cody away from the bloodline.
I just don't want it to happen.
It's coming.
I can see how you get him away from the bloodline. Let me spin a tale for you here. The full bloodline comes out, DQs. Maybe it is Cody and Roman in a DQ kind of situation. Whereas when Cody goes to save Roman, it's when Kevin Owens comes out and goes, "This is his bed and he made it. This is like, it's time for us to go, Cody." And they kind of drag Cody away. I could see like that's not a heel turn. It's not a situation where Cody's any less of a good guy babyface, because everyone knows Roman deserves what he's getting right now. And that's when Jimmy shows up. And I guess clears ring. I don't know. I don't believe Jimmy having that kind of muscle, but they got to make up something from how they did him dirty.
I see where you're going with that, but ultimately, if you do that, and the visual is Cody being pulled away from it, Cody being such a plain white bread babyface, he has to right the wrong, and he has to then he gets tied to Roman Reigns because implicitly they've given each other, and that was a fantastic promo that they did, but they've given each other their word. I see where you're going. I like the idea, but I think that doesn't remove the situation. I think it needs to be definitive.
But that's how you open up the Kevin Owens heel turn. When he turns to Cody and he goes, "You see what he did to us, and you're going to side with him." And that's when he finally breaks. And then he has his hands full with a heel Kevin Owens rather than the bloodline. And then you add more bloodline people because there's 137 people in this family. That can come in.
You are lowballing that, sir.
You can have 12 on 12 in Survivor Series.
We might get an Owens heel turn at this PLE. Truthfully, in the schmaz that's going on, and it looking like that's going to cost Cody and Roman and them having the Superman come back for the victory still, because I'm very much on that train of I don't see Roman getting a loss in the record books on his return right now.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go with Cody and Roman with a heavy caveat that it's a DQ. I don't think you see a real finish to this match.
All right. You guys changed my mind enough. I'm actually going to go Cody Roman with you guys.
You're not allowed. You have to be different, so that way we make you definitively lose.
No.
You picked too close to me.
I just don't think... you guys were identical.
Oh, God. We're going to get everyone wrong.
All of them are wrong.
No, you'll get through, right?
No.
There's a good chance that whoever picks the first one right, the second one is right as well, because of the Judgment Day versus the Terror, what do they call them now? The Tower Twins.
I think we're going to end up, all of us, with 4 correct, and it's going to be a 3-way tie.
Yeah, I can handle that. I just don't want Steve to beat me. He hasn't beaten me on a single PLE in it's been a long time.
And go back to your original pick. You have a chance to get it.
No, you guys changed my mind.
You have coward.
Yep.
This is the 15th.
Listen, you are no place to talk. I will call Jacob Fatu and have him come see you.
You will do no such thing.
I will make sure he wears the grills.
He is a terrifying human.
This is the 15th PLE that we've predicted, and you haven't beaten me once.
God, these promotions are putting on way too many big shows.
Right now, I'm beating you, Steven, by 12 picks.
Yeah, see, there's no way of me pulling ahead by the end of the year.
Ah, no way.
So wait,
Yeah,
is just out of curiosity, is our year from February till now, or February to February, since that's when we started recording? Is our year like WrestleMania to WrestleMania? Is our year January to January?
I say it's Mania to Mania.
Okay.
And we could throw out the first two PLEs that we did, Elimination Chamber and Revolution, because
which makes sense
we tied
because
anyway.
Which also makes sense because
matter.
those are the ones that we had. We had a different third host.
Yeah, who only picked one of the two?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It was a tie.
Hearing
it's like
this,
we both win.
Hearing you two talk about this makes me think of one of my favorite TV shows ever, The League. And when the one guy finally won the league, and the evil descended upon it when Steve finally has that Mania to Mania victory over everybody, and it's the darkest timeline.
Yeah. Next kid's name is Taco Batman.
Chalupa Batman.
Chalupa Batman.
Chalupa Batman. Yeah. You can cavity search me all you want, but all you're going to find is Tennessee running back Chris Johnson.
That was my favorite line. Anyone who hasn't seen the show just knows that you love cavity searches, Steven.
And here we are. And this is what happens when all three of us get on the show together.
It's a fun time. We want to thank you guys so much. Do us a favor. Put your picks in at the bottom. Tell us where we're right. Tell us how wrong Steven is. Steven, don't forget to get your dictionary and look up cantankerous. We really appreciate all of you coming here and supporting the show. Like, subscribe, do the thing, tell your friends. If you don't have any friends, tell strangers. We're open to anyone. Thank you again, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
As always, guys, remember, tuck your chin when you bump.